Hello, my name is Todd Leva, Senior Architect of the Watson Explorer Content Analytics, and I will be your host today. I'm very excited to present and demo to you our latest advancement in content mining and exploration that leverages the Alchemy Concept Tagging API and introduces a whole new visualization for concept discovery. This is our 12th text mining analytic addition to our content miner, and hopefully many more to come as we incorporate more of Alchemy's text analytics. But first, a brief description of the Alchemy Concept Tagging API and how it is used by Content Analytics. The Alchemy Concept Tagging API is very simple to use. You pass it a URL to a web page or a block of text from a file, and it will tag it with one or more ranked concepts. For example, if you pass it a web page news article about Hillary Clinton, it might return the concept tag Secretary of State. But it goes further. It will also return a hierarchy of more general concepts for Secretary of State, such as United States, and for the United States it's a country, and for a country it's a geography, all of which are more general concepts. In the demo you're about to see, we used Watson Explorer Content Analytics to index over 1,000 news articles from CNN.com, New York Times, and the Washington Post. For each news article, we tagged it with the concept hierarchy returned by Alchemy and indexed it along with the content of the article. We then developed a new content miner visualization, especially designed for you to easily explore these concepts and discover new insight into the content at a fraction of the time. So let's get started. This is the Watson Explorer Content Miner application. There is the familiar search bar at the top and the faceted navigation panel on the left. The document results list for your current search state is shown on the right, and in the middle are tabs we can select, providing different views and exploration techniques through our data. We are currently positioned on the time series view. Here we can see that there are 1,141 news articles spread over the last 2 months. To start off our exploration into these news articles, I'm going to choose our Concept Discovery tab like so. The Concepts tab consists of the concept viewport in the middle occupying most of the tab space. At the bottom is a slider that controls which portion of the concept hierarchy you're currently viewing. There are 16 levels to the concept hierarchy, 0 being the most general and 16 being the most specific. We are currently positioned on and viewing the concepts at level 0, the most general. This scale will change as we drill down and up the concept tree. To the left are 2 information circles. The top circle lists the tally of concepts currently being viewed. In this case, we are looking at 42 concepts at level 0 for the entire collection. The bottom circle gives us the highest relevancy score. It is currently set to 1 because there is no subset of data to compare to, so all of the concepts being displayed are on an equal footing for now. More on this later. To the right are 2 slider viewing controls. The first is a conventional zoom in and out slider. You can zoom out like this to see more concepts in the viewport. But eventually the concept labels become too small to read, but the overall topology of the concept graph can still be made out. The slider to the far right allows you to separate the signal from the noise mentioned earlier and view only what the system suggests are potentially relevant concepts. More on this later as well. Each labeled circle represents a concept. If you hover your cursor over the circle, a pop-up appears indicating, among other things, the number of news articles that have been tagged with that concept. So for the people concept, there are 123 news articles. The plus symbol inside the circle indicates that there are more detailed concepts at the next level. So let's click on the plus sign and reveal those. Notice that whenever we click on a concept, it becomes selected, and when selected, it appears in our breadcrumb list shown here. We can focus only on those concepts we have selected by checking this box here. Now, let's assume I'm interested in politics, and I see the concept politicians. So let's expand that concept. Notice that it is expanded to presidents and Democrats. The graph is getting a bit crowded, so to help us see the connections, you can click on a link like so, and it will highlight all the descendant concepts and their links for easier identification. But let's just focus on politicians instead. Now, I'd like to show you the powerful relevancy statistic automatically maintained by the content miner that helps you cut through the noise in your data. First, let me reset my query to the beginning. I'm going to turn off the focus feature for now, remove any highlighted concepts, and expand my scope to include levels 0 through 4. And more importantly, I'm going to check this box to automatically expand all concepts. And this is what you get. 880 concepts. Now this is quite a bit of concepts floating around, and the graph will eventually settle down. You can still pan around browsing through all of these concepts, or you can search for a specific concept like this. So suppose we are interested in news articles about the Democrats. The concept, if found, will be centered in the viewport and automatically highlighted. Now you can add this concept to your query just by selecting this icon like so. A couple of things have happened here worth explaining. Out of the 1,000 news articles, 9 matched our query involving the Democrats, and the search results list has those news articles listed. Note that the word Democrat does not appear or need to appear in any of the articles. You'll also note that 30 concepts are currently being displayed with the aggregate level counts displayed in the circle. But notice how the relevancy information circle and the relevancy slider and the concept circles themselves have come alive with a set of gradient colors ranging from yellow to orange to red. These are the same familiar color coding surfaced in other views of the content miner that alert you to potentially significant values that might require further investigation. In this case, these are concepts that occur more frequently when looking at news articles about Democrats when compared to all the other news articles. The relevancy information circle shows the highest relevancy score encountered and the proportional number of concepts for each relevancy level, and there are 15 of those, with each level getting its own gradient color. The relevancy slider also shows this same proportionality, but as it relates to all of the concepts encountered for the current concept level range setting. So by looking at the slider, you can see that there are quite a few more potentially irrelevant concepts, that in the gray area, than potentially relevant concepts, the color-coded ones. Also note that the system has automatically positioned the relevancy slider at the beginning of those relevant concepts. And this is the way that the viewport has all of the noisy concepts removed for you so that you can focus on what may be the most important concepts. Now I say maybe because the low-scored concepts may still be significant to your exploration. Remember that the relevancy scores are based in part on how often the concept appears in the current subset of documents on Democrats as compared to all the other documents in the collection, a kind of correlation analysis. So it is still possible to have what may be meaningful concept to you not be scored high just because it doesn't occur frequently enough in the current subset of documents. It may be an outlier or a newly emerging concept. You can still examine these less relevant concepts by adjusting the slider into the gray area to include those concepts like this. Notice that the number of concepts being viewed has jumped to 211, and quite a lot to examine, but still available to browse through if need be. Now let's reposition the slider back to the beginning of the relevant concepts and see how relevant they might be. Now only the colored concepts are being viewed, with the lower scored concepts marked in yellow and the smaller circles, and the red largest circles being those concepts with the highest scores. We see concepts like conflict, dealings, Republicans. All of these do seem to be likely concepts you would encounter with news stories about the Democrats. So this completes our demo today. I hope you found it interesting and realized the power of the tool offers you to explore large numbers of documents without actually reading them. I want to thank you for giving me a chance to share with you our latest advances in text analytics and hope you have a great day.